Hi there, Lisa Crawford here, owner of Simply Stunning Hair and Makeup. Thanks for returning to our YouTube channel. Today we are going to address the most requested thing, and you see it all over Pinterest, you see it all over social. It is the beach wave. So a lot of women have been saying, oh, well, you know what, I can do it, but it ends up too curly and it springs up too much. Or some people say it doesn't last very long, or they get just like a slight kink in the hair and then it goes frizzy. So I know a lot of people like doing it with a flat iron, and that's great, but I am a bit of a dinosaur. I like to use a curling iron, and I am using the Hot Tools inch and a quarter. So I'm going to show you guys step by step how to do this and what products to use with this look. So stay tuned. So we're going in today. So we have our model, and she has like a good length for a beach wave. Any length is great, but if it's really short, it's just gonna spring up and not look great. Depends on who it's for and what their personal taste is. I always like doing the beach wave anywhere from a bob down. So we're showing you the type where it's a rope technique. So what you're gonna do is use your curling iron and twist it down the hair. So let me explain. So I'm going in with my Hot Tools iron. And what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna show you a quick little test run here, and then I'm gonna go in and format. So here we're gonna go in, and the bigger the section you take, the looser the wave. That is a very important tip. A lot of girls are taking sections this big, and then it's going too springy. And it's like, well, because that's too much heat isolated onto one section. So, and my iron is at 380. Now take it easy with that once again, because I have it up high because as you will see, I'm not keeping it on the hair very long. So around the face, you want to curl back off of the face. So if you have a tongue on your iron, make sure the tongue is facing your mirror. So curl back, same with the other side. Tongue facing the mirror, curl back. And then in the back, you're gonna rotate back and forth. So I'm gonna take a nice section here, and then I'm going to go straight in, but I only curl halfway. Count to 3 to 5. And then what I'm gonna do is drop my section, but notice how I haven't opened it? Keep spinning it down like a rope, and then let it fall. So I'll show you again. So take another section, like so. And then what you're gonna do is go back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or until the hair is hot to touch. And then I'm gonna drop my section, same thing. Do it again, 2, 3, 4, 5, and again, and then let it fall naturally. So see how that is like a nice, soft, effortless wave. This is very important that you don't go touching and combing it through while it's still hot. Like we've done a few videos ago, when the hair is hot, it is taking shape. Once it is cooled down, that's when it is set, and then you can work with it with product. So same thing, go straight in, right? Tongue facing the mirror. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'd say she's about 6 or 7. And then drop it, pull it through. And this looks when you do it the first few times, you're gonna be all like lost in the mirror. It takes practice. So when you're in the mirror, you clip it, you spin it once, you pull it through, spin it again, pull it through. So essentially you're making a rope. You're trying to twist all of that hair except for the last inch. Keep that straight. If you do have an accent where you've curled too much of it, a great tip is that once it's all done, you can just flat iron the tips with your flat iron and then toss the lid out. So in the back, I usually start, like I said, I like a nice thick sections because I want it to be effortless. The smaller the section, the tighter the curl. The wider and thicker the section, the more relaxed the curl. So same thing, going in here, into the back. So I'm going over the iron, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same thing, spin and down. Once again, see how big these sections are? Some people take smaller ones and it's all personal taste, what look you're going for, but today we're going for a very, very effortless look because that is the one that we are having most requested to us on how to do. So same thing, let it sit 5 seconds till it's hot to touch and pull it through and make that rope. Keep spinning your iron. And as you can see, it's got a great lift, so you're gonna get volume and a very, very soft, flat curl. Same thing, go in. And I am not tidy with my sections when doing this style whatsoever. It is meant to be very undone, very effortless. You're not having to do very clean, very tight sections like you are with the ponytail that we have had to do before. This is supposed to be very easy. It should take you about, I'd say, to do your whole head, depending on how much hair you have, it can take anywhere from 10 minutes to 20 minutes, depending on how much hair you have. Very rarely does it take 20 minutes, but hey, you never know. Same thing. So in the end, we are going to finish curling this, and then we will tousle everything out. So the bigger, thicker sections in the, I'd say just below the crown, mid-occipital bone area, let that heat sit there a little bit longer. But once again, your rule of thumb is if it's hot to touch, let it go. Same thing. And I primed her with the 7 seconds leave-in conditioner, and then I used a little bit of the Session Label Texture Hairspray just before I put it on, just a very, very light coating, just to give her hair a little bit of grit because she does have very soft, fine hair. So just to give it a little bit more texture. Same thing, go straight in. So see how I pulled that iron halfway down? So it's like a good 2.5, 3 inches. It's right into the mid shaft. Don't curl from the root because then you won't get the look that you're wanting to achieve. Make sure you're pulling that iron halfway down. Well, 2.5, 3 inches down. And then twist it out. Even if you get ones that are like kind of curling, kind of not, don't stress. That's all goes with the territory. Okay, and then I'm gonna do the side here, and then we'll check back once it's all finished. I'm just gonna do this side, and then I'll show you how to do the styling. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and drop. Don't touch that. Same thing, make that twisty little rope. Make it look almost like a Twizzlers. Twizzlers licorice. Same thing. You can comb out every individual section, but I wouldn't bother. It'll take a lot of time, and this is meant to be easy. So tuning back here, so as you can see, this is finished. We went ahead and just did a very soft, very subtle beach wave. So then it still looks like she has some length. You don't want a beach wave where it's like popping right up, like Annie. So we're going in today with the Unite 7 second, second day, 7 seconds, second day. And this is a nice cream pomade. It's great for amplifying shine, separating the beach wave, separating your curl. It's even great for men. It's awesome. Then we'll also be finishing with the texture hairspray. One of my favorites. Great. So I take about this much of the second day. Rub it into my hands like a lotion, like a hand cream, until it goes clear. Then what you're gonna do is just pull it through the ends, and that gets rid of any unwanted frizz. It's a great way of perfecting the curl. It's one of my top favorites for sure for a beach wave. Seals in any dry ends. We all have those clients who don't like getting haircuts, so this is a great way to kind of mask the inevitable. And then even for flyaways, it's a really awesome product. I find if you use just the remnants that is left over on your hands on the roots to take away the flyaways, it won't go super greasy, which is awesome. So once I get that all through the hair, right, I'm gonna go now for a bit of lift and a bit of movement. So that's what I'm coming in with the texture hairspray. So this is, you can use a little bit of this, you can use a lot of this. Really, it's all personal choice. So you go right in and just kind of fluff it up a tad. That's it. Same thing. And it just gives it just a tad bit of lift, some movement. And it's great too because it does have that little bit of that powdery feel to it. So it does absorb any excess oil in the hair, which is kind of cool. But it's not a dry shampoo by any means. Loads of lift, some movement. And then we can just kind of pull it out front. You can do whatever you would like with it. If you like it messier, you can go hard, you can go messier. If you like it smoother, you can use just the second day. So really, that's how simple it is. So just keep that iron nice and hot, but don't leave it on your hair for very long. 5, 6, 7, 6 seconds tops, or as soon as it feels hot to touch, take it out and keep that rope formation. And there you have it. Thanks so much for tuning in. Have a great day.